Okay, welcome back to Hinamizawa once again. Today, stuff is going to happen.
Wow.
Surely.
Yippee! But first, we gotta get through the Watanagashi, so...
The Watanagashi?
Honestly,
Yeah, what do you call me?
I feel like this guy's not gonna appear that much. So I'm going to play as this character, because I don't want to take the most active characters for today.
Nobody tell him.
Oh, fuck me.
I mean, you can swap him out later if you want.
Okay, fair enough. Alright.
Yeah, if you're not feeling it, you can swap, that's fine. Alright.
Okay.
Action!
Hey, guys. You're all super energetic as usual.
Your mic is a tiny bit quiet, just by the way.
Oh, let me put it closer.
Very soft-spoken Tomatake.
Yeah.
It was Tomatake.
Are we switching any characters this time around?
As I crumpled on the ground, oh yeah, I got beat up. Mion and Satoko continued to bicker above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rena was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene.
I'm not.
Does somebody want to take Satoko in Soggy's stead?
Come on, guys. When you're a
You
third
don't
person
have
on
to
this.
strain your voice, you can do a normal voice.
What? But what?
But
what is normal for
too late.
this type of child?
Yeah.
Look, the goblin
Not
voice
sure
is
if
how
my-
she's supposed to be done.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Sagi.
it's
You have
like
to be
you
the
guys have
dickhead
never
one.
watched the anime and heard of Canon Goblin Kotoka.
I don't think she even sounds much like a goblin in this dub, which I think is inaccurate, but...
Watch the dub right now.
I mean, I
English dub,
can
or-
literally turn on voices for a second if you want to hear what she sounds like.
Let's see that.
Hold on, let me...
Will you be able to
そうだ
replay the?
少なくともサトコの許可は
こんばんはではございますが、
Yeah,
レ
she
ジ
Oh
は
my god,
何もなくお写真を撮るのはエチケット違反でございますことよ。
That's clearly very nasally and everything.
Alright, so who wants to
I
take
I could do like evil.
Do it.
Do like
Do
evil?
it.
Okay, sure.
Just give her like the rich girl voice.
Rich girl voice. Oh, I can't.
You
do
have to
that.
do the laugh every line.
I can't achieve that. Oh,
Now you gotta save those for Mineko. Or maybe it's
Ah.
practice for Mineko.
Nah, Umaneko's got the witch cackle. That's not the rich
Umineko has
Ojo's
so much
Ojo-sama laugh.
It's a fine evening indeed. Although it's rather poor etiquette to photograph a lady without her permission.
There we go. I can take Keiichi again if you want me to.
I'm
Not
fine
our
with it.
Satoko.
I
It's up
will
to you.
I will probably be giving up Keiichi later because I'm not gonna go into detail, but there's long stretches where it's just Keiichi and the narration. So that would hurt. That would hurt my soul. Anyway.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's right. At least you don't really need Satoko's permission. Satoko dug her heel into me.
Going all out on that harem.
Alright. The bitch. Who wants the bitch? Well, all of them are actually.
Oh my god.
I think Miana's the most bitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's not even true.
Well, that character was
Depends
fine.
on your type of bitch.
Well, I didn't say she wasn't fun. I said she was a bitch.
Okay, but Keiichi deserves it.
I said fine, but whatever.
Oh. Well, I also didn't say she wasn't fine.
Okay,
I just
who
said
did
she's
the
a bitch.
Rena last time? Do they still want to take it?
Rena
Soggy-
last time
Soggy
was the
did it.
warlord.
Yeah, the Ugandan warlord.
You gotta do it too.
I think
Rena last time was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Grumble, did you say that you wanted to take Rena, just by the way?
I could take Rena. I could do
Yeah.
sure. Good evening. You're heading back tomorrow, aren't you? Were you able to take lots of good photos?
Yes. Thanks for asking. I got plenty of good shots. There's the bitch.
Tonight's the last we can see old Tomitake-sama, isn't it? It's such a shame. Hurry up and have your major breakout soon.
The passive aggression is fucking ripping from her words.
I told you, she's a bitch.
It's great. It's
yeah,
great.
Oh, yeah, last time she was talking massive shit about it. I remember now.
Just as rude as ever, aren't you? I'm really sad I won't be able to hear that voice of yours for almost half a year.
Be sure to have as much fun as you can tonight. We'll be back in Tokyo tomorrow after all.
God, she is a bitch.
She's got bigger balls than anyone else in the cast.
That's why she keeps calling herself an old man.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Big,
Old man
old,
balls.
crinkly fucking balls.
They're so saggy.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
It's too early for this.
Is it ever
Mion
too
would
early
approve.
for this?
Mion would approve.
That's true.
True.
It will be another 6 months until I can enjoy another night where I can see the stars.
Tomatake-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness. Why don't you move here, Tomatake-san? In Hinamizawa. Tomatake-san was speechless. It's
It
not
really
very
is
convenient
right.
here. No shops.
Moved
no
from
recreation
nowhere, no
spots.
thanks.
He looks like the fucking Poe when you haven't fed him for a month.
His neck looks more ripped than the rest of his body.
The
His neck is as thick as the rest of his.
for Tomatake-san is crazy. It's so
His
perfect.
neck is as thick as the rest of his head.
Sure.
Crazy.
God,
I mean, like-
you're making me conscious on his tits.
He's a photographer. Every day
Okay,
is neck
do
day.
it.
He's got to be looking around for the best
Every
angle.
day is neck day.
It's not very convenient here. No shops or recreational spots. There might not be anything really here, but you know.
It
everyone
kinda
knew what I
sucks.
was trying to say. Tomatake-san was also well aware. So Rena, Mion, Satoko, and Rika-chan. None of them butted in. I've only been here for less than a month, so I don't really know everything about it. Normally, I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss for words.
You're still talking, you bitch.
Even though this was happening in such a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance. This place
It was
is
a very
probably-
romantic moment.
The moment when you say some fucked up shit and the record scratches and everyone in the room looks at you.
Except the Higurashi is
frame
not a
that
record
treatment.
scratch with cicadas.
Yep, that's me. I bet you're wondering how I got into this situation.
He pulls out the gun.
Tomatake-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me.
The bromance. Finally, we're on the Tomatake route.
Let's go!
Thank you, Keiichi-kun. Mion-chan and Rena-chan, Satoko-chan and Rika-chan.
Tomatake-san's smile was so slight, it looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was so warm.
I also think it would be great if I could live here.
Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. A hand touched my back. It was Rena.
Keiichi-kun, you shouldn't pick on adults. It's not nice.
Fucking says you, Mion. Oh wait, no, that's Rena.
Yeah. The background clamor of the festival returned.
We won't be seeing him for a while, after all. We need to make sure Tomatake-san also enjoys tonight.
When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter.
That's true. I think I just do that.
Ah! Hey, Michan! How about it? Can we let Tomatake-san in our club activities?
No!
That's a great idea!
He is
What?
going to be he's going to become a murder victim.
Or so I thought, but Mion had a snobbish look on her face.
One of the requirements for membership is residence in Hinamizawa, you see.
Damn capitalist.
Come on,
You have to be a
Michan. Just for
landowner.
today. Don't be mean.
What does that have to do with capitalism?
I don't know.
You gotta be a landowner,
Wow.
bro.
Yeah.
Capitalism invented land.
Hinamizawa invented capitalism.
Hinamizawa invented property rights.
Well, he does come around often every year. I'll make him an honorary citizen.
Congratulations, Tomatake. You're now
Whoa!
property.
Yay!
Honestly, she probably actually has the authority to do that.
He probably is the president of Hinamizawa.
Now then, I wonder if this aged fellow, well past his prime, will be a match for me.
That's an appropriate amount of goblin, I think.
Yeah, that is a good one. Alright, here she comes.
Has
Anyone want to
taken-
swap, or should I stay with?
I'd be willing to go back to Rika, as in the first session. Let's have him show us the wisdom of mature adults.
Can you keep up with us youngins? Us
You added as in the
whippersnappers?
first session. My first thought was the same voice too.
Tomatake-san,
Not this time.
Tomatake-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins.
I, Neon Sonozaki, club president, do hereby authorize honorary citizen Tomitake's entry into our club.
Her words were quickly drowned out by our cheers.
What do you mean by club?
What our club does, you see. In order to cope with our complicated society, we perform various activities with various rules. Sometimes they are in your favor,
Hey,
and
just shut the
sometimes
fuck
they work
up.
against you. I'm just imagining, like, pushing
Holy
the anime
shit.
glasses onto his face while he says this.
Teichi is the fucking Joker. He's the Jonkler right now, guys.
I'm pretty weak,
He's
so
not
I'd
the one
prefer
with
you
the
not
gun.
single me out. Let's try to get along. If you wish to mock our childish games, then this will be the perfect opportunity.
We'll leave you with nothing. You won't even leave the hairs on your butt.
So, it's a club where we play games together.
Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense.
Alright, that's what I wanted. I'll take you up on that challenge. Don't be too rough on me, my mentors.
Tomatake-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger.
Oh
That's
my God.
perfect.
It's a
How old would he have
10.
been? How old is Tomatake-san?
He's
Do we
just
know?
like
I don't think we have an exact
80.
answer.
I mean, he
Oh.
was middle-aged anyway.
Early 30s.
He looks. I wouldn't even say middle-aged, but yeah, like late 20s, early 30s looks to be about.
I think Keiichi does describe him as a middle-aged man when they first meet. Anyway, we continued
The sprite doesn't look like it.
We continued walking through the festival with Mion at the front. Now we look like a family of 6. It adds some
Tomatake and
intensity
his
to it.
5 kids.
Oh, the original sprite has gray hair. Or at least gray hair.
Oh, I see.
Same rules as always. The loser will, of course, be subject to a penalty.
Tomatake-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was,
Just don't lose.
Fuck
Rena
you,
was
Rena.
also brimming with determination.
Just
She
dodge,
didn't
bro.
have any intention of losing. That's true! I tossed up Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment.
I see. This is what it means to feel like a kid again.
Tomatake-san whispered that to nobody in particular.
You know, every school club has the middle-aged man in it. You know.
Yeah, that's how it
Jesus
goes.
Christ.
I mean, mine,
Yeah, no
mine
one
always
has to
did.
call the teacher. No one has to call the teacher being there.
It's one way. I guess that's one way to look at it.
At that moment,
Yeah.
we heard an old man call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival, and also called her Papa.
Oh, you're here, little Miss Sonozaki. Seems you brought quite the crowd.
You sound
Oh my
like
God.
you're already got one foot in the grave.
Hey,
Too many
Our case
cigarettes.
is closing in
I'm
real
voice
time.
acting a real fucking old man.
That's what the
He's
average
keeping
smoker in the
himself
80s
alive.
sounded like. It's accurate.
He's keeping himself alive through sheer force of will.
And the nicotine.
Oh, that keeping yourself alive through sheer force of will, is that a Echo reference?
Oh my god.
God.
I think I shared this because.
Came to eradicate your entire stall.
His stall was a shooting gallery. It was
Oh,
the
Mia's
usual
gonna be
setup
right at
where you
home.
had to knock down the prize if you wanted with a cork gun.
The rules are simple. 3 shots. The winner is whoever gets the biggest prize.
I have to wonder what this looks like in the original. I don't know if I've mentioned, but
Neon has the gun.
No. I meant the background actually, because in the original, they did that thing where they just have filtered photographs as the backgrounds.
Oh.
I kind of like that vibe actually. I was
It
gonna
was
try
pretty
and
cool,
see if I
actually.
can install it on this, but it seems weird. Anyway, everyone shouted their agreement.
Yeah.
There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize in the stall. It went without question. It was that one, wasn't it?
Whoa! That teddy bear. Cute.
Rena was gazing longingly at a large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on an unsteady platform, so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot. It's magnificently set up to make someone think that.
Not bad, Keiichi-san. I figured you would see right through this scam instantly.
The most logical course of action would be to aim for some candy or at all.
The intent analysis had already begun. In this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. I thought this was the most fun club game of this chapter, to be honest. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up with before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big fuss.
Oh, they brought a real gun!
There was this
What
much
the
of a
fuck? That's a
following
Glock.
for our club's infamous event?
Knocking that bear down ensures a win.
Only 3 shots. To use them all just trying, that'd be rough.
Hey! I only have other customers waiting, you know. Who's up first? The first one has the advantage of being able to aim for the easier prize. But it's dangerous to compete without knowing the gun work.
Tomitake-san's take on the situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about.
Well then, to be fair, how about using rock, paper, scissors to decide? How about it?
6-person rock, paper, scissors.
That's really the only way. Rock, paper, scissors.
After a couple of matches, it ended up with Mion being first.
I didn't want to end up first. Oh well, I just think of it as a handicap. Ramps, gun.
Oh my god.
Here you
At least she's not using her own gun.
When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked it over intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either. Oops.
Okay.
She's gonna put a real bullet in.
This gun is
brand new.
Oh, sorry.
Isn't it? No faults. Not bad.
I kind of forgot that I was not doing Mion this session. Mion raised the gun in one swift motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Almost as if she has experience shooting a gun. Fire.
Very foreshadowing.
Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire! Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul.
Oh my god, she pulled out an
Plop,
ultimate.
plop.
She used her McCree ult or something, I don't know.
For her neutral special, she wields a gun.
The crowd paused in a moment of awe, and then erupted in cheers.
Whoa!
Awesome.
Sugoi!
That was quite good.
Tomitake-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess.
Amazing, Michan. 3.
Why can a child aim a gun in Japan?
Well, she does have a gun. That's the thing. Anyway, her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gone after were fairly large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with a very high return on investment.
Who's up next? Sadako? Careful. The bullets are light.
Next was Satoko. The rifle looked a bit big for her live body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with that weight. Are they just trying to establish that any of them are capable of using a gun?
They are anime protagonists, what do you expect?
Of course, I shall aim for the grand prize.
She proclaimed
always
that she
got
was
the
going
job.
after the teddy bear. Damn, Satoko! Such a bold move! Also, there is a gun as one of the prizes.
Yeah.
Oh my
The
god.
moment
so
she
the-
knocks it over, she's guaranteed to be in first.
I like the
I
tight
use the-
theft too in the top right.
I
Yeah,
use the
that's what I was
gun to
about
grab
say.
the gun.
It looks like some of them have names on them.
Yahaha!
The
the
yaha, yeah, not the yama. The yaha.
Like keyboard.
How are you supposed to knock that over with a quirt gun?
Good luck, Satoko-chan.
Skill issue. The skill issue, bro.
It's a carny game. It's impossible.
Satoko
throw
was the
herself.
You'd
opposite
have to
of
have like a
Mio.
shot put ball.
Whoa, Danganronpa V3 reference? She aimed at the target
Whoa.
quite carefully and squeezed the trigger. I swear I'm gonna stop now.
You won't.
Bah! These bullets are too light!
The first two bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit.
Kinda
You need
nailed
to
the
aim higher
Satoko there.
towards the head, or it won't work. Satoko's third bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm.
I hate to say it, but it appears the bear is just too much for me.
She went boldly after the big catch, but since she switched over to less impressive prey at the last second, the crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing.
A fine attempt, Satoko. You've gotten better.
The palm of Mion's outstretched hand went plump as it tapped down lightly on Satoko.
Oh no, not Paul.
We don't
We're not gonna
pump
talk
here.
about that. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Satoko. Just to avoid being in last place, she dared to switch over to an easy target? Without shame or honor. Magnificent.
I'll allow you to take the bear, Rena-san. I pray for your victory.
Cute mode engaged.
Okay. Thanks so much, Satoko-chan. How? Mr. Bear, so cute.
I don't.
She's going to turn the gun into full auto.
No! I don't think this has a full auto mode.
She's gonna whip out her switch.
Rena was up
This is
next.
gonna.
She couldn't hit the broad side of a barn as regular Rena, but she said that bear was cute.
Oh my god, she's gonna pull an ocelot.
No, God.
I wonder how Rena-chan will do. I hope she's able to hit at least one.
You're underestimating Rena, Tomatake-san. Pushes up anime glasses.
She's pretty
Rena,
good.
you know. It's Rena Ryugu, you know? If it was to get that teddy bear.
Whoa.
Tomatake-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making
Was he in a
about.
wheelchair the whole time?
No. I think he's using...
No, I think Tomatake-san
He did it. He did a cartwheel.
Hit the drift.
did a cart- If it was to get that bear, she'd shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Rena Ryugu could do it.
There's a huge hole in the stall.
Shaking. It's shaking. How cute.
Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. Now Rena couldn't lose.
Not bad, Rena-san. The less collected you become.
The stronger you get.
Brain turned off.
Oh my god, it exploded!
Ah! Another big cheer. Rena's
explosive
bullet hit
cork
the
round.
bear's forehead again. Not enough. The bear seemed to wobble more than before.
But it might not be possible.
You never know. With Rena-chan's skill, it might be.
While Tomatake-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But with just one more, no matter how you look at it, no go.
Jesus Christ, that's a grenade launcher.
Ow!
The crowd let out a dejected groan.
Rena had shot into the crowd.
No, she did not shoot into the crowd. Just give it a minute, then she'll start firing.
Not again!
You're pretty cool.
She
Don't
actually threw a grenade at the wrong button.
You're pretty cool. Don't come to Onikakushi tomorrow.
She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit late, but they gave her a good round of applause for the attempt.
Oh, Mr. Bear, take him home. Oh,
She should be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then, at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with a saber and handed it to Rena.
This is for you, little lady.
huh? You're giving this to me? Oh,
The gods won't forgive me if I let you go home empty-handed. After such a
Oh
display.
my gosh! The gods already have stopped forgiving him, clearly.
There was another shower of applause. Yay! Rena turned bright red, and I pulled her back over to us by her hand. You did a good job. Your cute mode really surprised me.
huh? I really wanted Mr. Bear. What?
It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic. Alright, then I'll
get it and give it to you.
What?
He's racing him.
had stolen the words right out of my mouth.
Where's God Tomatake?
Okay. Please, Tomatake-san. Good luck.
Should not be doing this. Oh my god.
Damn you, old man Tomatake!
Keiichi thought it was his harem, but actually he was just part of Tomatake's harem.
With his big bulky arms, he'll shoot the gun harder.
King. Praise him. Damn you, old man Tomatake! Stealing the good parts for yourself?
Don't say that.
A small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head, just before I was overcome with frustration.
You keep on fighting too, Keiichi, okay? Ganbare.
True.
Ganbate kudasai.
Tomatake-san carefully studied the bear. Setting his sights, he shouldered the rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand. Why is he doing that?
It's high noon.
The quick loading.
Yes, no doubt. Tomitake-san is aiming for...
Pop! 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 The time between shots was short. So short that you could barely even read it. It was meaningless.
Did it
to
actually
shoot
say
again
that?
Once it stopped shaking.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Yeah, the time between shots was short, that's why you could barely read it. So Tomatake-san was relying on rapid fire to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before. But that was all. It still didn't fall over.
Could have not retained all that momentum.
Oh, too bad.
All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway violently turned into a dejected sigh.
I really thought it would work.
He didn't upgrade his shooting skill enough before this event.
Do you think they gorilla glued the bear to the stand?
Oh,
Bro wasn't using his Fallout special stat.
He didn't use bats.
He didn't use that well enough.
it seems that, since you're a man, you won't be receiving any candy.
Damn.
That was
Wow.
it. It meant Tomatake-san had no spoils of war.
Damn, that's a little bit, yeah.
So, both Kei-chan and Rika-chan can just shoot down a sure, easy prize and avoid being dead last.
Avoid being the loser, huh? Oh, sorry about that.
But that's how losers think.
It's your turn next, Keiichi-kun. Best of luck.
In
I was
shooting
the fifth
civilization,
shooter.
no one goes for the bear.
I took the
He was the
rifle
5th
from
shooter on the grassy
Tomatake-san.
knoll.
If I took the ruthless route as Mion had suggested, then I'd go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning with passion, passed down to me by Tomitake-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a man.
What is a man?
After all, that was my promise to Rena.
A miserable little pile of corpse.
Huh? What promise? What?
To shoot down that bear, then give it to Rena. That one.
Shoot down to Freeman?
You mean... How?
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation.
Woo!
Show us what you got!
Show us what you got! Show me your
That's not it,
moves!
fine men of the crowd. If I didn't do this, then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way home. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings?
You're an anime protagonist.
Keiichi-san surely talks the talk. But how do you actually intend to bring down the bear?
Rena and Tomitake-san's shots did make it tilt a bit, but I think finishing the job will be difficult.
Keiichi-kun.
If only there was some way to shoot faster, I'd be able to pile more power on the sway from each hit.
Good luck, Keiichi-kun.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't have an end quotation. Weird. After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the guy.
There are a few typos in translation.
Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves. Murmur.
I wonder what Keiichi-san is up to. One person can't handle 3 rifles at once.
I get it. Nice thinking, kid-chan.
I'm gonna dual-wield Halo.
Neon was able to figure it out magnificently.
He's going to hold the third gun with his mouth.
Style.
Basically, what was taking the most time was reloading the shot.
That's right. Then, by putting 3 preloaded rifles next to each other...
Tomitake-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. So basically his plan
He's gonna take the photo.
It's when you fill your hotbar with crossbows in Minecraft. That's his plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur.
Bros
Holy
before
shit,
hoes!
Mineko reference. I
Holy
need
shit.
to
That's actually
resist
Brace
the
of
urge.
Pistols reference.
And then the
from
crowd
Roman
finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. Ooh! They chanted my name!
Keiichi! I'm having a heart attack!
Shut the fuck up, old man! I'm shooting. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Whew. After letting out a deep breath, I paused. Relax. Now! That moment.
He fired the negative
it felt
bullet.
Like time itself had stopped.
How long can you move with the stop time, bear?
It felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets.
Oh,
Hit
fuck
it,
off, Keiichi.
and knock it down. The first shot
Checkmate
hit Sarah
now.
on its head. The second. The third. The bear swayed hard. And then...
The bear was actually just filled with lead.
It had fucking tungsten in it or some shit.
My medication!
Waited its ass.
Maybe the medication's a prize here. The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it.
It's
before
actually
it
a
hit the ground
bong.
and tossed it over.
It's not medication, it's just a bong.
You actually knocked it over. You got me.
Amazing. Congratulations, Keiichi-kun.
Keiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head. I will see you in a slightly better light now.
Thank you.
I can't
Satoshi.
wait
Plus
for
one
this.
affinity point for Sadako.
I can't wait for the stall owner to get his revenge later in the chapter.
The stall owner is actually the one that decided all
He's
the
the
murders.
mastermind. Holy fuck! I didn't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and those small bits together brought it down.
Shut
this trophy
up.
belongs to all of us.
Oh my god,
That's
you
right.
fucking anime.
It counts
Right.
for even Tomitake-san. Therefore, everyone's the winner.
This is from all of us working together.
But Tomitake-san still lost.
Fuck.
Me didn't hit it a single time.
After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena. Here. This is from me? No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches.
With our powers combined.
Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless.
I can't, Keiichi-kun. This is everyone's after all. How?
Yeah, we'll spread together like a cake.
In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Rena. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time, she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here, after all. I'm really grateful, you see. Thanks a lot.
The true heroine.
How? Keiichi-kun, thanks so much!
Rena dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything out here, but there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on.
So basically, a girl like threw herself at him, and like he was like, "Oh, I didn't even fucking notice because I was thinking of Tomitake-san."
It was
I mean, honestly, that's kind of understandable. Have you seen his ex?
I've seen his. I have seen a few things on Tomitake-san.
Dude, we're only bros before hoes.
He's seen Tomitake-san's secret photos.
Oh my god.
He's got some shots in.
Don't forget that Keiichi is a child, by the way. From the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drums
it's
sounded
legal
with a
in
booming
Japan.
echo. It was the finale of the festival.
Don't you remember the tale of Hikaru Genji? I'll be going off ahead then.
Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then, see you in a bit.
Both Rika-chan and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd.
Bye-bye!
Aren't you
I wish
dead?
both of you the best in your endeavors.
It's vaporized.
Now, shall we be off?
Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go.
That's what you
Yeah.
probably shouldn't say about a kid.
Huh? Where's Rena? Oh, you're
She's
gonna
a
see
kid
a
too,
lot
it's fine.
worse. Don't worry. But what are you doing?
Keiichi-kun, Mi-chan, save me!
Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear.
Crowd
She's
surfing.
crowd surfing. Yeah, crowd surfing.
So, I'll leave Rena in your care, Kei-chan. I have my hands full taking care of Satoko.
Who would want to be looked after by you, Mion-san? Fudge, please don't pull on my arm!
That felt genuine.
Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar. Why is everyone so violent today?
Keiichi-kun, not there! Don't grab me there!
There's a lot of dopamine right
Jesus
now.
Christ.
Where can I grab then?
Oh my god.
I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us.
Grab me by
I
the
grabbed
ear and
onto
call me
Rena's
a
hand
bad
and
girl.
dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Let's hurry up.
Yeah.
I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition. That
If
wasn't
only
my
she was
fault. Not at all.
If only she was as ripped as Tomitake.
He's too busy thinking about Tomitake's
He really is!
My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maebara," in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon.
Fucking grab her by the scalp, wouldn't you?
He's like,
I really-
people might think we're a couple. I wouldn't want anyone to think I'm into women.
I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once.
It was written on my face that I was thinking about Tomitake.
There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. This is what the festival is actually about. That was just our thing. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday, and just as hot. There was a pile of futons with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Sorry, warded with sanctified rope. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cotton and the futons.
Keiichi-san! Rena-san! We're over here!
Satoko
I don't
waved
remember
her
what
hand
the hell the voice
from the front row.
Nothing. Keep going.
Sorry. I mean, they're going to show you in a second, so... Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they'd saved.
How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of excitement with Rena?
You punk! So that's what your plan was! Instead
This
of replying,
bitch keeps trying to get me laid.
Instead of replying, Neon gave us a reverse
With a
grin.
woman.
How was it, Rena? Was Kei-chan's hand bigger than you thought it would be?
Not as big as Tomotage-san's, though.
Huh? How?
Rena turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground, with a welt on her face, and that's when she fucking died. Mion,
Finally.
when you were hit. When were you hit?
Between the ha and u of her how, I think.
Rena, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment.
No, that's a good habit to have.
No, that's legit. I didn't hit her. I did not. Whatever. How?
It's her stand? It's her
It was my hand.
It's her stand,
I didn't
Zawarado!
hit her.
Thump. The thunderous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd.
You must all be quiet. It's beginning.
It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by the members of the municipal committee. The elders looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera. What's the big thing Rika-chan is holding?
A hoe that's used for the festival.
Aho.
It's a sacred
Mion.
sacred farming tool that only the shrine maiden may touch.
It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached the pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out futons?
She's purifying the futons, which sacrificially absorbed winter's illnesses for those using them.
So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong.
Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the
No,
momentum
she's a
of
kid.
her
She wouldn't weigh that much.
She yearns for the mines.
Satoko looked on, silently lending her support. Worried?
Rika practiced every single day with a mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail.
Satoko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It feels wrong, having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy.
Mion isn't a maiden by any stretch of the imagination.
I'd do it if they asked
True.
me, you know? And, well, it's not something just anyone can do.
That's true. Shrine Maidens need to be pure, after all.
That's a good one.
Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They
Cleanse
descended the
futons is a fun combo of words.
They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river?
Watanagashi. Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know.
The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. A fire was stoked high, and it was bright as day here, too. People started crowding around it and clamoring.
Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichi-kun.
I wondered what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns?
It's not food. I said it was cotton.
Ah, but of course. They didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people, and then we all ate it. Lina drove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream.
Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do.
She held the cotton in her right hand and, waving her hand as if to purify it, she touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs.
You do this 3 times, and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama.
Yeah, you got it. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god?
Yes, it's the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. It brings about both miracles and curses. So you must be sure to show respect.
That
Blah.
sounded like a pretty frightening god. It's okay.
It's great. He really is a city boy to not know that most kami in Japanese and Shinto are like that.
Well, but this is a local god, to be fair. And also,
yeah,
kami
but
probably
even so,
aren't as celebrated outside of world.
And he's also Satan.
That's what I'm saying. He's a city boy.
What? Okay. Oh god, is that the fucking Jester Cage? He is so cursed. That looked like a pretty... That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But, well, when in Rome. I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all.
He's in Japan. What's he talking about Rome for?
Doing as Rita showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama.
This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then you can let it gently drift away on the stream, and you're done.
Get that freak out.
Together, Rena and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the bad illnesses from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made me a true resident of Hinamizawa. Take a shit. They cried.
Rena would have she'd have a lot of sins. She committed a lot of war crimes back in Nigeria.
I thought it was Uganda.
I said Zimbabwe.
A bit anxious. Hurting someone
There's also Madagascar.
I even considered. Nevertheless, the anxiety then gave place to loneliness, doubt, and more. And then, that wicked, murderous intent finally took control of my mind.
What?
The boy took the first step towards an unrecoverable daily life, not even realizing that he was walking into the abyss. Onikakushi. That's the name of the chapter. A tragedy born from the desire to believe. Are those tears of repentance or tears of resentment?
Oh my god, Isaac reference?
Jesus fucking Christ. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely, though. I know this.
I had the thoughts of Tomatake to keep me company.
Yeah, I had Tomatake's pecs to keep me company, so I wasn't lonely at all. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It's probably better if I just stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice.
Tomatake?
It was Tomatake-san!
Ah, no!
Yeah! I headed towards him.
It's him!
Fuck!
How'd it go, Tomatake-san? Were you able to get some good shots?
Oh, I'm naked now, dude. Yeah, fortunately.
Tomatake-san was with a girl.
Best girl.
It felt a little like I was intruding. Who wants to voice
I'll take her.
How was it, Keiichi-kun?
Oh
Did you
my
enjoy
God.
the festival?
3 cigarettes.
Oh my god.
From the
It's
way she
adult.
spoke, it seemed like she was a
It seemed like she was a smoker.
and also a chain smoker.
Oh my god, she's adult Satoko.
Did you pick up a pack of pole balls for me? I fucking smoke a pack of fucking cigarettes.
I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her
Because
name?
their voices sure as hell aren't consistent.
Well, it was fun. I'll give you a hint as to what her name is, by the way. It has been mentioned already. You're probably gonna need to check the replays to figure it out, but anyway.
Oh, bruh.
Well,
if she doesn't get introduced here.
my face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a lighthearted chuckle.
It's probably because it hasn't been long since you moved here. It's pretty hard to believe, seeing how friendly you've gotten with the other kids.
If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Rena and Neon.
Perhaps you feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today.
God.
I wonder about that.
Oh, that's not like you.
I had tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past, as well.
Oh, you're feeling left out because of something like that?
It's not so much as feeling left out. It's just, I'm not sure how to say it. That incident at the damn construction site. The fighting over it and other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and bad that had happened here.
If it will put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know.
Tomatake-san's smile made me more relieved than I'd ever been.
After all, it's Tomatake.
It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, "Ask me anything," though. Even when there was so much I wanted to ask. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa was going to be submerged, right?
I think the locals will be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though.
Tomatake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke.
The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next largest project after one in Kurobe. Ah, fuck, am I gonna monologue? Fuck!
I can do narration if you want.
No, yeah, I have to pull out my way, don't worry.
Okay. This is your line, then.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure most of it is narration, so...
God damn it,
This is exposition dump.
There were 3 major issues in Japan at that time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was completed. The entire area, right up to Yaguchi, was way upstream, would be underwater.
But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't they have instead picked a place where nobody lives?
I'm not sure why, but I've heard that it was just the right terrain for building a dam.
Okay, she doesn't realize you can only build dams on bodies of water.
Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said that they had fought. From that choice of words, I had to guess things that had turned out violent.
There was a trial, and it was even brought up before the national diet. It was covered in the Tokyo newspapers too.
Neon had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle.
As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction.
If I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about.
Bizarre.
I felt a little shame from the fact that I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance.
Can you go on a date with me?
No, this age gap, it's too much. Anyway,
He's like a male cougar
just so I
in
would
this
stop
case.
thinking about it so much.
He's a male cougar.
What's the term for that again?
Dismemberment?
Is it a gray fox?
Like a silver fox? Yeah.
So, there was a dismemberment, right?
There was. I happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember.
Oh, that's not suspicious at all.
He totally wasn't part of it.
I flashed the
Tomatake-san's
victim.
answer was nonchalant, in contrast to my hesitantly forced-out question.
A male cougar is called a manther. That's right.
Alright, serious
I don't-
music. It was about this time, 4 years ago. It was the day of the Watanagashi, if I recall correctly.
Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam site was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered. Fearing prosecution, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and each hid one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I'd read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Mion and Rena needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it.
It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see. So, everyone was saying that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse.
Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see.
Return the limb
Their guardian
of
deity
suffer.
rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa.
Oh my god, what is this?
Apparently
It's a
the
Dutch
younger
accent.
one.
Excuse me. Hold on.
Gotta smoke the cigarettes first.
They've got to take a drag off of a cigarette before they.
It's in my
Take,
throat.
like, 3
Take a drag off my
drags.
cigarette, yes.
Apparently the younger ones didn't think so, but it seems
Sorry.
the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The woman with Tomatake-san chuckled mischievously. Tomatake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious that I ended up laughing as well.
We're gonna kill you.
But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think, amongst the youth, too.
Why did you say youth like that?
A few
It's a personal threat.
youth. People who believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern.
Then after that, it continued every year, always around this time.
Continued? What continued? Tomatake-san paused for a second, as if trying to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might have been listening.
Then he pulled out his shirt. Every year, on the day of the Watanagashi, somebody dies. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Watanagashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died. While he was on a vacation. Speaking of his wife, unfortunately, her body was also never recovered. Oh fuck.
He supported the dam construction even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the time, there were whispers among the elderly saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse.
The woman chuckled mischievously again.
Then, the next year, the night of the Watanagashi, the shrine's Shinto's priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night.
The shrine's Shinto priest? You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded.
There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger.
Then the year after that, again on the night of the Watanagashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife.
Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam, or who had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too?
Exactly.
The woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly.
The victim's family, you see, happened to be that of a younger brother of the dam supporter who fell to his death 2 years before.
She's smoking a pack of cigarettes between each line.
Between each word, she's smoking an entire pack.
The younger brother is still alive, it seems, but it did bother him quite a bit. So he moved to the neighboring town, and
Bothered him
Tomitake-san.
quite a bit.
He's also smoking.
For a while, I stood there with my mouth agape.
It's the 80s, everyone smokes.
The battle over the dam construction with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person, don't lie. I don't believe in curses.
You're a fucking freak.
But the freak-ish deaths every year on the day of the Watanagashi.
Rikishi
And all
just
of
knows
them
what you're thinking.
were related to the dam construction. I'm gonna try and tone it down a little bit. It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves. But when you pulled them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year, on the day of the Watanagashi, someone or something makes it happen, without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was, maybe we frightened him, stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Tomitake-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then? So someone died the next year, right? Who was it that time?
I wonder, what do you think, Keiichi-kun?
The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question. I'm serious here.
Are you homophobic?
Calm down, Keiichi-kun. Have a pack of C's. On me.
No!
I realized when she tried
You got a
to
lighter,
calm me
Keiichi.
I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking.
We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi-kun. It's just, when you say the next year, that's...
That's today.
Casey can't count.
When
Casey cannot count.
When Tomitake-san hesitated to say it, she finished for him. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed.
Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight.
The festival was so cheerful, though.
Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out that she didn't even attend the Watanagashi festival.
There was a rumor going around that if you don't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Didn't you hear anything about this, Keiichi-kun?
I never even heard a whisper of that rumor. Then the reason everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse?
I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Watanagashi than usual.
I guess everyone was just afraid after all of Oyashiro-sama's curse.
I couldn't utter a single word.
He uttered an ellipses. That's a word.
In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television had been eradicated, and we've sent men to the moon, even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society?
Did Oyashiro-sama fake the moon landing?
Oyashiro-sama did 9/11.
Tons of invitations were sent out to the neighboring towns, youth groups to help pad the numbers, but after that string of events, few decided to join. The municipal community members are complaining about how hard it was to gather participants.
Also, the police are treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they're connected. But apparently they sent quite a few plainclothes officers for security.
It finally began to dawn on me why Rena and Mion were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during this Watanagashi, everything would have been over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up just being crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual.
Maybe it was just too much for him after all.
The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed. She was looking for more cigarettes. No, it wasn't. Not at all.
She like stores them under your ears.
I had tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me.
You wanna see a magic trick?
After seeing how I looked, Tomatake-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor.
Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such things as curses.
Well, no.
Okay, die.
Jesus Christ!
If the causes
kills him.
if the causes of all of the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I would concede the possibilities of a curse. But that's not how things are in reality. Police investigations have already uncovered the truth and the perpetrators for all the cases.
Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was a perfect for calling the word curse.
The police are gonna arrest the curse.
Police types are strong against curse types.
The first one, the dismemberment, for example. I told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. It's only a matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to be an argument they had while intoxicated. That's no curse. Don't you agree?
That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Watanagashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all.
The accidental death of the couple who supported the dam is the same. He was in a position that made others hate him. The police made a point of investigating from that angle. They concluded it was an accident. Not foul play.
But they both happened on the day of the festival, right?
Just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa could participate easily in a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watanagashi. So, they probably left Hinamizawa intentionally around this time of year to travel, don't you think?
It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomatake-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself. Then, Tomatake-san, What about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness. That also happened on the day of the festival.
It's even easier to explain what happened to the Shinto priest. The Watanagashi is a really big event that happens once a year, so it was probably from all the built-up stress. Or it may have it may have been because of a pre-existing condition.
But it was an unknown illness.
Fuck!
It's hard to believe such a thing could exist with all our advances in medicine.
It's just an
He had
exaggeration.
super cancer.
Rumors making rumors.
The priest was actually Walter White.
Walter!
Anyone would get worked up of having incidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know. Turns out it was just a sudden death due to illness.
The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that?
I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incidents happening for a third year. Those who are of strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro-sama's anger."
Well then, how about the next incident with the housewife? That happened on the day of the Watanagashi too.
The perpetrator had already been caught and the case had already been closed. Turns out it was just some nutjob trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse.
Then, how about the incident next year? Oh,
come on, Keiichi.
Keiichi, shut the fuck up.
This year is the next year. Tomatake-san gave a hearty laugh.
Nothing will happen. Not this year. There was never a curse to begin with.
Nothing ever happened.
It's just a group of people who believe it was the explanation for a string of coincidences.
My internal computer finally got itself back on track.
Hinamizawa has fallen. Billy is supposed to be cursed.
I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking.
You're a fucking child.
Yeah, he is a child.
I can see very clearly now that Keiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa. Even if Oyashiro-sama's curse actually did exist, I can imagine that Keiichi-kun would become a target.
Anyway, he's gonna become a target.
I felt very relieved.
I think you will.
Just forget everything I heard tonight.
You're
actually become a Walmart.
Chekhov's curse.
He'll actually become a Walmart.
I'll greet Rena and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always.
He transforms into an entire Walmart. What?
Yeah, he won't become a Target. He'll become a Walmart.
Anyway, probably also.
That's one.
Okay, let's just move on.
How do you reply to that?
They probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude, the woman who'd been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on.
Well then, I should be getting back to smoking cigarettes.
Me too.
It's definitely not what she said, but okay.
Goodness. I think I might have gone on a bit for too long.
There were so few people compared to the crowd from before. I can only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we'd talked for the better part of an hour.
Didn't you come along with your friends, Keiichi-kun? Not going to look for them?
Oh, yeah. They might all be looking for me.
You're quite the scoundrel, making the girls look out for you.
See you, Keiichi-kun. Have a nice night. You too, Jiro-san. I'll be a bit later. Or I'll see you a bit later.
Meanwhile, the rest of the gang is called the SWAT team because they think Keiichi died to the curse.
Bruh.
Tomatake-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself, so his name is Jiro.
What a shitty name.
After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds.
Oh, no.
Keiichi-kun! So sorry!
Yay, happy fun time! In her
Yeah,
Rena came running over.
Hi, Donald Shift.
I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil.
My bad, Kit-chan. We got so caught up in our discussion.
I completely forgot about them while caught up in my own conversation, so we were even.
Why do you smell like cigarettes?
My, so Tomitake-san was with you. This works out perfectly.
We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition.
Oh, that's right. So I guess I'm gonna end up dead last. Oh fuck, a bunch of kids are gonna kill me.
I'll end up dead last!
In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time and aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. However, she did her little meeping cry in front of the owner, and he turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as a consolation prize.
Pack of cigarettes.
No, not
She was doing some Marlboro 100s.
Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently.
Her lungs were the real loser here.
Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster.
I have no idea what Keiichi is talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, you little shit.
Now then, it's decided that Tomitake-san is dead last.
Look! Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered.
Oh no, he's dead last, which means he'll be the last one alive.
So, Tomitake-san, are you ready? Penalty time.
Yeah, he pulls out the gun immediately. Huh? I completely forgot about that.
You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why you've got to avoid losing in our club. Neon pulled a felt tip marker from her pocket. It was actually a gun shaped like a felt tip marker.
They're gonna take away my fucking shirt.
Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh.
It just has to be permanent. Water-based marker would come off in the laundry.
Whoa, what is this? Please take it easy on me.
All of us pinned his arms behind his back, and Mion approached him with
big, muscular arms.
Help! Help!
And squip, squip, squip.
But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing.
You felt her strong, hard abs.
You'd better have your big break this year, Mion. Rena took up the marker next. Do you wanna voice these individually? You can do that if you want.
Sure. Show me your photos next time, okay? Rena.
Star.
It was a little
Star.
heartwarming, and I just had to laugh.
This is more like a farewell card than a penalty. Sign my abs, please.
I'm not as soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty.
Pull down your pants.
Haha, dead last. Satoko.
Wow.
Try harder next time, Rika.
Here you go, Keiichi-san.
I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. See, I'm telling you, he's a hottie. He's a stallion, an absolute stud. Tomitake
fucking pulls out his name, his number.
Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face.
So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty?
Of course, you'd better wear it all the way home.
You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice.
He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn a bright red.
On the back of the shirt it says slap his ass.
I don't need to be told.
Understood. I'll wear this the next time I come here. I promise.
Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest possible parting gift for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed Tomitake-san noticed her too, and knew it was time to leave.
He was littering the fucking place with cigarettes.
Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time?
There's just like a massive trail of cigarettes just off screen.
It's like the thread. He goes this thread in the fucking Minotaur's face.
Ariadne's?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's certainly how it seems.
She has to do that because her brain's been too damaged by the tobacco. So she doesn't know how to go from place to place. Okay, I'm done. I swear. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait.
I could hear I could hear the cigarettes crunch underfoot as you did so.
We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san.
Slurs?
This game is actually just an anti-smoking PSA. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand.
He has the simplest NPC AI of all, so we could stomach him easily.
Eventually, he faded into the darkness of night, out of sight.
Wow, he got vaporized by the shadows.
It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, it's about time we take off too.
Rika-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoko was tagging along with her. I headed back home with the usual suspects. Meaning those two.
Suspects in what?
The usual
The
suspects
Watanagashi
it's a figure of speech. Anyway, the walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war stories. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. Ren and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us, wink. Then we got to
We can make it if we try.
Parted ways with Rena as well.
Oh, okay.
It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself?
Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run, too.
If you run into some weirdo, just yell.
Including me.
If I do shout...
Kenji probably is the weirdest person in here.
Will you come and save me, maybe?
She'd outfreak any freak she finds on the side of the road.
The vibe of, like, turning off the last light in your house and then sprinting into bed.
Frankly, the weirdo should be scared of Rena.
She'd get the weirdo pregnant.
Yeah.
How? Okay. Scream loud enough so you can hear me.
Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Rena dashed off. She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her.
See?
Oh my god.
Rena's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a soul mentioned, even under their breath. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. It didn't show on any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up just being crazy talk. Nothing will happen, nothing bad, nothing at all.
Alright,
nothing ever happens.
Yeah, and then that's how the first arc ended.
Alright, who's mom?
Was it me?
Your mom.
What's
Your
wrong,
mother.
Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside. You'll catch a cold.
It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Watanagashi festival? By the way, this redundancy makes more sense in the original version because they didn't have nice.
They didn't have the dialogue. Yeah.
You just had to figure
the
it
labels.
out. Did you go, Mom, to the Watanagashi festival?
In the end, your father didn't wake up, so I missed it.
He's
A little
dead.
disappointing.
Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face.
Uh-oh, they didn't go.
Eto.
That means they're curse triggered.
Take a shit.
Yeah, take a shot.
Oh, do not take a shit.
Can I take a piss instead?
You can take
Yes.
a shit, you just can't announce it.
Yeah,
the
you
rule.
can take a shit.
That's true.
You can secret shit. It's fine. We
Oh
have
my
4
god,
more
that's a
tips,
lot
by
of
the way.
fucking
Can I-
tips, holy shit.
Can I-
These are
Can
I-
they're short ones. They're short ones.
And you know what?
Because these are each about the incidents we heard about, except for this last one. Don't worry about it. Hojo couples falling incident is our first one.
Uh-oh.
Hojo. Where have we heard that before?
Jojo.
From the June 1980 edition. On the afternoon of Redacted at 2 p.m., office employee Redacted and his wife Redacted of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone Prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa Prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the body of Redacted at around 7 p.m. that evening. His wife, Redacted, has yet to be found. The search has run into difficulties due to the effects of Typhoon Free from the previous day.
The third typhoon in history.
Yes. It appeared a railing at the observatory that the Redacteds leaned on had broken, causing them to fall. The groundskeeping staff was questioned by the police in regards to the facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. See, I told you, these are short. We're just going through these one at a time. The terminal illness of the Shinto priest Furude. Where have we heard that before? From the June 1981 edition. On the afternoon of Redacted, around 10 p.m., in the Redacted district of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone Prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. Parties close to the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was to be held that day. Also, after Redacted's death, his wife, Redacted, also went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search. However, given the presence of the farewell message and the fact that the Onikakushi swamp is said to be bottomless, they have run into difficulties. Now we have housewife murder.
Can I try one of these?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
It wasn't reported in the news. God fucking damn it!
Here,
I got fucking owned.
You can take the narration on the next one.
It was so perfect.
Oh my god.
I forgot about that. I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Ryukishi 07 knew
Are
it
you
was exact.
fucking kidding me?
He knew.
This exact thing. Let's go like that.
Okay, so if I remember right,
Everything.
there are two characters interacting here. Someone here has already called dibs on one of them, as I recall.
Alright.
Yes, I
You
have.
would blue ball
So
us like
here,
this.
you can take the.
I will take Columbo.
This is not the character. Would you like to take it?
Who's that?
Grumble.
That's you, Grumble.
Sure. What? This isn't what I was expecting, but I'll
I'm sorry, I forgot that happened.
No, I was expecting to do like I was expecting to do like a silly news reporter thing, but now I guess I'm like a police dispatcher or something.
Yeah,
you're dispatcher. Yeah.
This is Okinoya. I can't read these
Okinomiya.
words. This is Okinomiya Station calling Unit 3. Unit 3, please respond.
This is Unit 3, loud and clear.
Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over.
Roger. Unit 3, acknowledge.
Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence.
Station. The doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over.
Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor.
Affirmative. Understood. Backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take a photo first? I think the Vic is done for.
His name is fucking Oishi? Bruh.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Grumble. I actually forgot.
Detective
I got
Macy.
fucking owned.
That was perfect.
It was literally could not have been scripted better.
Good morning.
Accidental comedic bit.
Nice job yesterday, K-chan.
You didn't do so badly yourself, Neon. Yesterday was fun.
Oh, that's right, Keiichi-kun. Thank you very much for Mr. Bear.
I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though.
Actually, wait, before we continue.
I wouldn't.
That's voodoo?
We should like lead Satoko and like Arena like give one to Aika because I wanna hear that.
What's up?
Like
You're
give one of
very
the characters to
quiet,
Aika.
Oh, sorry. I was saying like we should give one of the characters to Aika, like either Rena or
Yeah,
Satoko.
that's fine.
Yeah, which...
Also, you said you wanted to like swap off with Nomitake because you didn't want to read the whole night, yeah?
I'm invested. I'm gonna stay here for a bit longer.
Okay.
Do you want Rena or Satoko?
Do you want the
either
goblin
way.
or the freak?
Give him the freak.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sounded a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water, and unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it.
Wet socks.
My now, how diligent of you to mop the floor this morning.
Damn, she truly bazinga.
Oh my goodness.
Satoko jump scare. He's rapidly approaching your
Wah!
location.
Keiji-san flicked my forehead.
Be over here strangling her.
You should set a more brutal trap next time.
What's an even more brutal trap? Last time she put tacks on the handle.
Next, he's gonna put a frag grenade on the handle.
It's gonna be Claymore mine.
She's got like a grenade bouquet hooked up to the door handle.
Fucking shotgun trap.
Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on.
Bear
in disbelief.
traps.
Everything was the same as always. Everyone was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainties I'd had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished.
What is it, Keiichi-kun? Didn't get enough sleep? Maybe?
I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class.
You shouldn't do that.
Mion alerted
He needs
us
his
that the
beauty
teacher
sleep.
was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
The
She got a
teacher is
sprite! What the
real!
fuck?
What is that?
She got an
That's the
actual
teacher.
sprite!
Shit.
I don't know why they don't introduce her in the anime, it's weird. Well, I think they do, but it's for like 2 seconds. Anyway. Who wants to take the teacher? This is not a major role for now, so...
No, I'll do it. I'll do it in that case.
Oh, I
you
can...
wanna do it? Okay.
Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up.
We were
Especially with all the
slackers.
cigarettes that were littered around the ground.
Yeah, that was a big problem. We were all slackers, so none of us actually helped clean up.
I mean, back in the 80s, everything was lined with cigarettes. That's what I was told anyways. I wasn't there.
It was part of the decor.
Actually, I had a feeling that the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus.
You're very cigarette core back then.
Okay then. This time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines.
I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out, but then I noticed the very different tone in her voice and started paying attention.
You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that can be taken the wrong way. Do you understand?
In unison, everyone replied, "Yes, ma'am!"
Yes, ma'am.
What she said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There was probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, "Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny." And now, I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself.
Cute, he says. 'Cute, 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 he says. 'Cute,
I was summoned to club activities after school. This one isn't very long, don't worry. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing Yeah, that wasn't happening. Because we were too busy peeing.
Pissing contest.
Playing Among Us.
Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one?
Oh, a game from overseas. Looks
Among
interesting.
Us.
The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard.
I'm gonna give you bonus points if you can guess what the game is right now.
I guess Clue.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Who knows?
The game is
You hear?
poker is the real deduction game. I'm not too bad at this game.
It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well.
No poker face.
The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins.
See? Uno.
You get bonus points. For Uno,
And then you
yeah.
can report to the journalists, like, hey, my friend killed this person with this weapon.
There are three kinds of cards.
There were three
Numbers, numbers, wild cards, and ability effect cards.
There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Rion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Ooh, a card with my name on it as well. There are plenty of
She's
different
excited to
weapons,
murder.
too. Like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice, too. Like the living room, the study, and the courtyard.
What is he going on about?
So, basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So, we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones.
Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators.
Then, you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends, and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, you lose a point. Since the game ends, even if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed.
You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain.
You'll get confused if you don't take notes.
This is Rika talking to you guys, by the way. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion! What's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion.
You get murdered in real life.
Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone.
So just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess.
I feel like the penalty today is pretty simple.
I wonder. Is it really?
Is Keiji-san thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. You don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream, or happy family planning manual, or other crazy stuff.
Time to get out the how to freak out the cashier with 3 items.
Let's see, condom, mayonnaise, and tube of M&Ms.
Oh no!
The condoms. And
How do I remove a cylinder?
How do I remove a cylinder is attached to a larger object?
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, it was butter, right.
It was butter.
the
Anyway.
condoms, and then when they tell you the price, go put them back and then come back with keep.
When they tell you the price, come back with extra smalls. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are the innocent cards.
Then, I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion, knife, study.
You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask the other players. If you have any of those cards, you must say, I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Yeah, I got it.
Me too.
I have one.
Oh my, all of them are here.
3 people answered when she asked if they had Mion, Knife, and Study. So that means Mion, Knife, and Study are all in the clear. Gotta jot that down.
Then I'll go Rita, Axe, Lounge.
Only 2 people said they had one? So it means out of Rena, Axe, and Lounge, one of them is correct and is part of the crime? Oh! No way. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Kei-chan is next. Sorry, that's you.
Well, Kei-chan is next. Go ahead.
Glad I can hover over it to highlight. But wait just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Ryukishi talking directly to the audience. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough.
This harem comedy is making me really use my neurons.
Alright, now I have the criminal.
What? Already? Here I am spinning around in circles, and Mion just now raises her hand.
The murderer is Rika-chan in the infirmary with the poison. Well,
Mion drew the cards from the box, and we checked to see if her deduction was right.
I was right!
The unknown illness.
All I need was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol.
I'd never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison.
I mean, that's...
Rika-chan said such a
fair.
hugely terrifying thing. With
She's
such
based.
a sweet little face.
Do you think she prefers green or purple poison?
She's a professional.
Purple.
Definitely purple.
Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rena and I were all left out in the cold, though.
Baited me into
Purple is
actually
much
taking
more
notes.
discreet poison.
How'd you do, Keiichi-kun? I couldn't get it at all.
Don't worry. I had no idea either.
Yeah, you could
Can you be
black out and
both
miss the
so
whole game.
unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate.
That's even worse! Going off buying something together as a couple? What if we ended up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Manual?
He doesn't want the cashier to think he's straight.
I can tell from Keiichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. It's easy for him to think about Tomotake's ass.
What? That's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Maibara during the next round.
Or are they allowed to say that in the English
My,
translation?
that sounds just wonderful.
Or
I shall give you
Toradola's gonna be on
quite
their
the
ass.
thrashing.
After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. Again, this is just non-stop talking to the reader, Jesus Christ. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka!
Urethra.
Sorry, need to go to the bathroom.
Let me take a shit!
Take your time and squeeze out a nice one.
See? She's okay with secret shitting.
She wasn't talking about sitting there, pal.
Michan, that's gross.
Sitting
I
all
had
by
them pulled
yourself.
off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over to me.
Daichi-kun, call for me?
Yeah, I did. As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rena. Wink! I'm glad it worked out. I don't want to waste much time, so I'll get right to the point. Rena, what's your record at this game we're playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth.
Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder.
I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off the last-minute comeback with this one.
So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty?
Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us.
But how can we?
I brought my lips into
Made a
Rena's
jump scare.
ear.
Oh my god.
Huh? Is that allowed?
Did you forget,
Holding hands in the middle of the game?
second rule of our society.
Scandalous.
Do everything in your power to obtain victory.
Yeah. Try my best.
We're almost to the good stuff, I promise. Our plan of attack was quite
This is the good stuff.
one. Okay, I'm not saying this isn't good stuff, but we're gonna get to the good stuff. You know what I'm saying? At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their hand for quite a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we'd need to investigate less.
Remember, if you do it under the desk, then nobody will know.
God.
This sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys.
Yeah, with this, we can probably win.
We both smirked at each other. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Pushes Anna.
If I was the arms dealer, then Rena was the Ugandan warlord.
Oh my
Doing
God.
it under the table. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone.
Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement.
Oh, sorry. Then what should we do?
Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something.
Okay, got it.
Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a bit longer before going back. If I went out too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Well, they'd figure it out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Both Rena and I will have earned enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all.
Maibara-kun, may I have a moment?
Huh? It's the teacher. Man, things were just getting good.
Now
What
it's
is
a
it?
woman here.
I'm a bit...
You have a guest. Please make your way to the entrance.
I'm so excited. A guest? It's not like I'm in a hotel.
Finally, a corpse.
They have been waiting. Please hurry.
Right before my big match is pretty bad timing to have a visitor, but the very fact that someone was here to see me was strange enough to pique my interest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows.
Ooh, fuck
Waiting
are you?
there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. This is GM.
Are you Maribara-san? Keiichi Maribara-san.
That's actually pretty close to how he says it in this. Like the actual dub. There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamizawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had met me. Ever since I met Tomatake-san, it seemed I was fated to meet middle-aged men.
You're all thinking about him.
That's right. Who might you be?
I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think?
Be kidnapped.
The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over to his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me! I had no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in his car with him?
I'm not going to bite. Come on now.
He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was about.
You're being arrested for being a freak.
Even well knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good.
I've got 15 reports of sexual harassment from you, Keiichi.
The inside of his car was pretty cool. I mean, they also sexually harass him, so it's fair. The inside of his car was pretty cool. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least.
Please let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up.
So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark, in the same way he did to me, and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture that was stuck between the pages. On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy.
If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me.
Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it was taken at the DMV.
There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker, starting with yours, Maibara-san, and quite a few of your classmates signed as well.
Huh? This is Tomatake-san?
I couldn't tell without seeing his abs.
There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. It was an expressionless, half-asleep face.
Then, do you know this woman?
Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomatake-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa.
When was the last time you saw these two?
The night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess.
Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine, go ahead and say it.
Being asked for every little detail is pretty troubling, to be honest. I had a pretty good idea of who this guy was by now. Did something happen to him? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no, certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomatake-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there be plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again.
You've moved here just recently. Isn't that right, Maibara-san? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama?
My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face.
Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine.
Well, I have heard of it. Tomatake-san told me, actually.
How much do you know about it?
The dismemberment killing, the accidental death, the death by illness followed by suicide, and the lady who was beaten to death. The incidents that always happen on the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomatake-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather I didn't want to think there was anything more than that.
Oh, fuck. No.
Maibara-san, do you believe in the curse? Feel free to speak openly about it.
I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling.
Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys.
What? So what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point?
The man in this picture is dead. The world. Chaos control.
My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomatake-san?
It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Maebara-san?
Well,
Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning, this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again...
The death of Jiro Tomitake is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right?
I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Please tell me what happened.
It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa.
It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest.
One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back to the security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, you know where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder, around there.
There were few streetlights on that road. Its pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomitake-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomitake-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt.
We thought it was a hit and run at first. But when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open.
From a knife or something?
No. Nails.
Nails? As in fingernails? You mean his neck was clawed through?
From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nail.
Huh? What does that mean? Basically, it means it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. Tomitake-san, whatever was going through his mind, tore open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails. Tore through skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomitake-san didn't stop. He continued clawing.
It would have been pretty easy considering how buff he is.
With enough
But no, his neck was his strongest part.
Yeah, he
Oh,
never
that's a good point.
With enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurt. Blood splattered on the ground around him. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed, his body spasmed, and he died in agony.
We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected.
But this? It was a suicide? I'd never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died, in these 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. As if to show both myself and Tomitake-san, who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong.
There were a few more suspicious details. From his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on, we conclude that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death.
That was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out their throat.
Wounds on his hand matched the discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There are traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomisake-san's blood was found all over the place, meaning
that while tearing at his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber.
There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered on Tomitake-san. There is a high probability Tomitake-san was assaulted. The external injuries suggest there may be multiple suspects.
To summarize, Tomitake-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic, after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Then, he died.
Presumed time of death between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomitake-san at the festival.
Everyone signed Tomitake-san's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that. Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her?
She's missing. She hasn't shown up for work, and she hasn't returned home either. There is a very high probability that she was involved in this incident.
For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. The time I had spent with Tomatake-san was short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us.
We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative.
That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomatake-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened from me.
If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomatake died from Oyashiro-sama's curse.
He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance.
The night of the Watanagashi. During that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos, angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out.
There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict a fine punishment on Tomatake-san. Tomatake-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to let this end up being the fault of some curse.
I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curse.
The tense mood was cut with the man's hearty laugh.
That's how this must be, Maebara-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe in the curse is indispensable. Understand?
Neither Tomatake-san nor I believed in curses. But with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomatake-san's death marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomatake-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomatake-san was one of us. He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. There was no way that Tomatake-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there is nothing I can do to help. I have no idea what happened that night either.
No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, that's enough.
If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense.
Things or people are rumors. Anything is fine. I don't care if they're unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up.
He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired knee-deep in this matter.
Please, help me solve these questions surrounding Tomatake-san's unfortunate death.
That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face.
Everything we spoke of today is a secret. Please keep this confidential.
Understood.
From your friends, as well. Especially from Sonozaki-san, Kurie-san. Please do not inform them.
Sonozaki? You mean Mion? Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly, and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry.
This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose.
Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he didn't seem to be especially offended.
I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you.
Say it! He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit.
There is a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy.
There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that?
No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved. None of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the village.
Then how did you come to that conclusion?
Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi. Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something?
Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanagashi was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa?
First it was the damn construction foreman. Then it was a villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die, one after the other, for mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end the result is the same.
Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village.
The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive. So there are a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result.
Ill will? It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of that supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomitake-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. Was he just killed because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower.
Well, that's the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower.
What's scary about that?
It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider could be reason enough.
Then, you're saying that next year's victim will be picked out of the village outsider pool?
It might be a person that just moved.
What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion?
I can't go into details. Sonozaki family led the dam protests, quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public worker offenses on her record because of the protest.
I knew that Mion had fought. This was the first I'd heard of her family leading the protests, though. Then, well, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents?
I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it was a conspiracy, then they definitely have the highest probability of being behind it.
Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know, much like the writer of this game.
We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That's exactly why I don't want you saying anything to the villagers.
Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough.
And think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that?
What do you mean, like, how about that? How should I know? But the reasoning behind wanting me to not carelessly opening my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine, Mr.
Oishi, from the Okinomiya police station. You can call me Kura-chan if you want.
No, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though, I've never seen one this bulky in the cop shows I watch.
Like that.
I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? I should probably get back to them.
The door opened with a click, and in streamed the oppressive heat. It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? It was an almost cruel heat, as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside of the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind.
I didn't mean to suspect your friend. Please don't misunderstand that.
I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving.
It's fine if you don't see or hear anything, Maibata-san. It would help to prove that the village is not involved, after all.
I'll contact you if I hear or see anything. But I'm no detective. Please don't expect too much from me.
I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything.
I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow.
See you later. Farewell, Maibata-kun.
I returned to the school building without looking back.
Man, no man tits anymore.
We're never going to see Tomotake's
That's a great takeaway.
glorious.
Yeah, that's
We're
a
never
good
going to see
takeaway.
Tomotake's glorious pecs again.
So sad. Absolutely tragic. So, I can now officially say, welcome to Hinamizawa proper. Yippee, we're here. I don't know how much time had passed.
Nothing ever happened.
Nothing happened, even a little bit. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomatake-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think there was the possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved? Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, or Rika-chan. It was a group that attacked Tomatake-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa?
Clearly the perpetrators were a gaggle of
didn't
teenage
know.
girls.
All I could say
More
for
like
certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator.
Okay.
Alright, Aika, this is your turn.
Yeah.
Roll up the credits.
It's me-chan, the perpetrator.
Huh? I was startled to hear Rena's voice.
With the rope in the lounge.
Nope.
No.
Rena clutched her head while flailing about. What a wonderful thing to come back to after that scene. Looks like you're just self-destructing over here. Wow.
Wow.
Ow.
Ah, Keiichi-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger.
Sorry about that. I was called into the staff room, you see.
You were reprimanded for bad behavior? That's a shame.
Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one.
If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place?
Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 point.
The heck? Her score is lower than mine and I wasn't even playing.
This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone, or by both Kei-chan and Rena.
Yeah, right. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself.
We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know?
How many ellipses were in that one line?
That.
Is that like 6 ellipses?
I followed
One
the
ellipsis is 3 dots.
I followed the initial
Something.
plan
Yes.
of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call.
I got it. The murderer is me, with the poison at the entrance. Is it?
Hi, my Rena. Quite a quick answer. Out of the stab in the dark.
Rena's correct.
Oh, then it's been decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well.
Hooray! Hey, Chikun, let's both do our best.
Yeah, let's do our best. It's my fault, so I have no choice.
Then, that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. In that last are Keiichi Maebara and Rena Ryugu.
Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty.
Now then, I rank first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the Gopher penalty.
What will she make us buy? I wonder.
Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it?
I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper.
Oh.
Whoa. There's a lot written here.
A lot? Damn it, what is she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu. Shampoo and conditioner? Apple vinegar and fried tofu. The heck is this?
No condoms? Damn.
It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty.
Me was certain she was going to win today.
Rule 7 for society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is fruit table. Thanks.
This is just your grocery list! I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Higurashi, when they cry.
Take a sip.
Oh my god. Alright. For me, I think I'm gonna call it myself because of fucking daylight saving.
I'm glad you got to see the start of stuff finally happening.
I'm so glad I get to finally fucking be Oishi.
Oh wait, no.
It's so great. It's
Alright,
so great.
We got about a half hour left, so let's keep it cooking. I'm gonna make a
Alright.
hard save just in case.
Have fun, guys. It was really fun to listen to.
Yeah, we got more good shit coming up next session.
Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, if he's jumping out, like, if this is a
Yeah,
chapter
great.
break, then maybe we can just,
Great
like,
shit.
do the
If
tip and then stop it here.
if you guys want to take a break now, that's also fine.
I'd be down to the tips.
Let's go
Yeah, we
through
can
the
just, like,
tips.
Yeah.
The tips are probably fine.
All right.
Yeah.
First up, there are more than 4 perpetrators.
And before this is Oishi's notes.
Who wants to be forensic investigator?
Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails. Not someone else's nails. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches.
Yeah, I know the immediate cause of death was suicide.
I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right?
It's not quite on the same level as when your bank itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood, after all.
Some of Tomatake's. Does Oishi want to do this too, or not? These are
I feel like this is the I feel like this is more. I was gonna say, oh, okay, fair enough. Some of Tokotake's fingernails have been pulled out. Fingernails actually rip off surprisingly easily, but it really hurts. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there were a lot of bruises on Matake's body. Clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted at first by someone, or a group of people.
According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death.
Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys of attacking him certainly would have been surprised by that. It is possible that in such an abnormal environment, a person can perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases.
Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank that the deceased used as a weapon? They only found sand and the paint from the guardrail on it.
What about cloth fibers or skin?
Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants. Or it could be they took the plank he was fighting back with.
In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They just take them all.
Ha 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 ha! That's true.
I'd laugh like a pirate.
Yeah, what was that?
Just wait until we get...
Tomatake is pretty built and tan. He was quite athletic. He had a great walk, too. I really liked his ass as well. Yeah.
That's right. He was pretty active.
I'd love to raw dog Tomatake. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning, he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around frantically, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit them at least once. Surround and take down someone of his physique. I wonder how many people it would take.
You dimwit. If anything, that's your specialty. Have you forgotten your bad cop days?
If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down a big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. I'd guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage.
Then there were quite a few perpetrators. So any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious?
A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mystery.
That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before.
Not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the result.
Oishi-san, the chief is calling you.
Thanks. See you around.
Yeah, best wishes.
Alright, then we got one more tip called Search Notice.
The search notice.
Jiro Tomatake, deceased. Actually, do you want to take this one to make up for earlier when I accidentally pranked
No.
you? Okay,
No, this is a completely different vibe than what I was hoping for.
Notes. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
If another newspaper comes up, you can take it. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the name Jiro Tomatake. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away.
Oh, that's why he was killed. He's unlicensed.
At the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival. Accompanied by the missing Mio Takano. Was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Hinamizawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobu National Railway line? No individual matching the name Jiro Tomatake in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to Metro Police. Contact magazines regarding Jiro Tomatake. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Irie Clinic. Became close to Tomatake through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya, redacted, district redacted.
No, she lives in a triple X district.
A red light district.
I mean, I guess. Witnessed accompanying Tomatake on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate the relationship. Place of work, etc.
He's single.
Need to get information from police on the scene again. I want some cream puffs.
No, he's taken by Keiichi.
Or jumbo ones. Oishi. I also want cream puffs.
Yeah, jumbo cream puffs sound nice.
Alright.
I like how this is the music
Yeah,
that is playing.
this is a fun, happy little music.
Yeah, after going over
a fun and
murder
happy
investigation.
game now.
Yeah, it's always going to be. It's always has
It's wacky.
It's always been happy. It's always going to be happy. And
nothing bad ever happened.
Hinamizawa. Anyway, I'm gonna stop recording now.